Hi everyone, Gruntle here, and this is my guide to legendary and unique weapons in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. This episode we're looking at the Min Lighter, which is a legendary laser manufactured by Tediore. So you can get this laser as a random drop from any suitable loot source. It doesn't have an assigned drop, and it will always come in shock damage. So we have a closer up look here. You can see the skin on it. It's pretty interesting. It's got a bunch of scribbles all over it and things like that. And it's always going to come with the Tediore barrel, so it's always going to have a barrel that looks like this. However, the grip in the stock and the sight will change. I've got it here with the Tediore grip, as that's going to give faster reloads. The Tediore sight, just because the sight's just an aesthetic thing, and I reckon the Tediore sight matches up well for me. And the Tediore stock also. The stock's not going to matter too much with this weapon. Tediore stock is basically the worst stock there is. However, stocks are to help recoil reduction and increasing accuracy, and with this weapon that's not a big factor. So if we look over here at the red text, it says approached but never identified, and that combined with the name of the laser is a reference to the Min lights of Outback Australia, or the Australian Outback. And apparently it's been reported that there is a ball of light that will follow travellers. And if we look at how this gun fires, you can see that that is also a direct reference to that. So it's a big ball of lightning that goes out and it bounces off surfaces, as you can see here. Oh, see, it's bouncing off things, going all around. So yes, it's a reference to that, the Min lights. It's also got, it consumes 5 ammo per shot and a reasonably large magazine size, but it's going to go through it quite quickly with the 5 ammo per shot. However, the fire rate of 0.4 will mean that you're not firing very often. And also the fact that it's a Tediore means that you're going to be reloading often, just so you can get that damage from the reload, as you can see there. So the magazine size is really only going to affect how much ammo you're using every time you reload it, because basically what you want to do is shoot once, and that will damage enemies a bit, and then reload it. So shoot, reload, shoot, reload. That is how you should be using this weapon, I reckon. And that's how I'll be using it in the demo. Now we can compare it here to the purple Tediore version. First of all, I'll show you how that purple one fires, and it's a splitter, so it fires off a split beam, or lots of split beams, which is very different to the firing of the Min lighter. And you can also see on the card it's ×6, so that's because it's splitting off in the beams. The purple one also has higher damage on the card without the ×6 as well. However, this 7342, or the damage of the Min lighter, will be able to damage enemies quite a few times. As you can see here, the ball of lightning gets lightning off onto the enemies, damages them a few times. And then also an interesting thing about this ball is that you can fire it out, and then if you hit it with another gun, it explodes in a nova of electricity. So if you missed it then, I'll fire it off in this direction. So what it should do is it should go out there and it should bounce off this wall and come back over this direction, and then it's going to do a nova thing, or a shock thingy there. However, if I hit it with this other laser or any other gun in the game, it does a big shock nova in the area. So yes, that's another interesting thing about this weapon. If we look at the rest of the stats, the fire rate, as I said, is very, very low. The accuracy is quite high on the card compared to the other Tediore. However, it isn't very accurate at all, and it's not something that you need to worry about really, because you just want that ball of lightning to go in the general direction of your enemies. The reload, magazine size, and electrocute damage of the gun are very similar, exactly the same in this case. However, the electrocute chance is a lot higher, so you can set enemies on shock, I guess. You can have them all shocking and stuff way easier. So yes, if you're looking for characters to use with this weapon, I would say the best character will be Athena. She has a Psionic Storm skill tree, so you'll be getting the all of the shock damage that's happening will add to the stacks of her Maelstrom, and I think she has some skills that buff shock damage as well, so you'll be getting extra damage with that. And next up, the second best character for this gun will be Wilhelm, I reckon, because he has his laser focus buffs which buff laser damage. And Wilhelm will be what I will be using for the demo today, just because he's what I've been using for the other weapons, and you'll be able to see the similarity between this gun, well, similarities and differences between this gun and the other ones I've been testing out. So we'll jump to that demo now, and I will let you know what I'm thinking of the gun as we do that. So here we are in Overlook with the Min lighter, and I will be using Wilhelm as I said. I'm going to try and use the reload to do most of the damage on these enemies, just because that is I think the most reliable way to use this weapon. It does go through the ammo quite quickly, but as long as you have that big ammo pool and you're picking up ammo off the ground, you should be pretty fine using it like this. So you can see that it's going through these flesh enemies quite well, and it also does quite a good amount of damage on the armored enemies and shielded enemies, because the shock damage is quite a universal and useful damage type. So yes, if you want to read more about this weapon, by the way, you can check the description below the like button, and I've left a link to the wiki page. Now, as I was saying earlier, the best character I reckon with this weapon will be Athena, with that shock damage, getting her Maelstrom tree up and things like that. However, it is quite usable on Wilhelm, and I assume it would be usable on other characters too, just because of that high shock damage. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comment section what you'd like to see in the next one and things like that. And make sure you subscribe if you'd like to see more of these weapon guides. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.